So you should eat as nutritiously as you can for as long as you can. And I'm getting ready here to make an apple pie. I just cut up the apples. I got those for $2. And look at this. I really scored. See that? That's raw milk. Illegal in the state of New York. Can you believe it? And so I got here bell peppers. I think I got those for $3 for a bag. A bunch of carrots. These were $2 a bag. And I'm going to make a nice vegetable soup with parsley. I think parsley is supposed to be a good chelator. So, there we go. So here we go. Food is your best medicine. But it's how you accept the food and how it's prepared. I'm going to have a couple of people over tonight, Ugly George and Suzanne. So, you know, if you always think, oh, white sugar's bad and all these things are bad, it creates an energy. And really, it's just about using what's available in the environment. Including this. I got this on the street. Isn't that nice? So I can cut on it. I'm going to throw a little quinoa in this. Don't look at the jar. This is quinoa. That's a grain that's got the highest amount of protein. I'm just going to throw a little in. This has got rutabagas. I already cut up the rutabaga before I started this. This is how we weather through hard times, along with saving $3 for washing sheets in the bathtub. Oh yeah, speaking of that, this is what I'm going to do later if I'm in the mood. I made the water really, really hot, and I put radiation hormesis rock here so that afterwards I can soak in irradiated bathtub water. And I put this on just like a swimming pool cover. By the way, that's wonderful B&H video. That's the Hasidic run operation where you get, you know, really low prices. I love the place. Love people who do spiritual practice. Any kind. So here we are, Paula's mom's famous apple pie, half a cup of oil and a quarter cup of cold milk, and we're so lucky this one is raw milk, into 2 cups of flour. Look it out up on YouTube for more details. It's got over 5,000 hits. Paula's mom's apple pie. I'm getting ready to roll it out, and I used to use wax paper, but I found you can take plastic bags and cut them in half to roll them out that way. And so here you can see I use a wine bottle as a rolling pin to roll it out. See, I got this thing going here, and that's the crust. I put in the first crust there, and now I'm going to put in the apples. Okay, and now I've got sugar on it. You know, a little sugar's a good thing. Don't let those health food Nazis tell you otherwise. Again, here's my illegal raw milk. You wouldn't believe it. I paid for it, and then I had to go over on the other side of the market and stand next to a place, and then somebody delivered it in like a black bag. Seriously. And so then I put the top crust on it. Now we're going to put it in the oven. So now here we are back to the soup. You can see the little quinoas here, how they sort of puffed and fluffed up. I turned it off, and I'm going to have a healthy soup. Okay, so here we are continuing with bathtub knowledge. And what I have here is a really hot rock. And I got that. I keep that at the bottom. Jane gave this to me because Jay gave it to her for the La Casa Day Spa. And this is going to be in the radon baths, but I'm just trying it, you know, here for now. And the bruise is really gone. There's nothing to see. I was going to do it day by day, but then I went into to Colorado. So there you go. That, you know, we'll learn more about that, but that's essentially the secret. Jane is going to get me something that I can cover more conveniently than all of these bags. That's what I've been putting up there to cover the hot water when I put in the hot rock so it can charge up. It's supposed to take 8 hours. And I'm not completely sure if a bigger rock goes faster. Maybe with the Geiger counter you can tell. But this is the whole secret of radon baths. And I know not everybody can go to Pritchett, Colorado. I certainly hope those that can do it, or maybe they have a lot of die off with microtoxins and the fungus, it would be good for them to be in such a healing clinic around people who can support their healing crisis process. Otherwise, charge up your own bathtub and check it out. What I'm going to do now is just sort of rinse my sheets out in this water. Maybe that's just totally my imagination. It'll do anything. Certainly the warm sunshine will when I hang it out on the window.
Like that, labor was really important. We're still enthralled to the idea. It serves perfectly a narcissistic society where everybody thinks what they are so important. What they're important, one of the most important functions that the citizens of a society do is buy things. They're consumers. That's what they are. They're consumers of mass-produced things, and they need to have, like milk and eggs and butter and bread and things like that they need to have. And the question is, how are they going to get money, real money that has value, that is going to buy those things, if the combine is turning out the product? To call that industry, call that industrialization, call that super-industrialization, automation, all those things, as Mr. Keynes said was going to become the case, not needing them. They just get in the way when they get in those places. You don't need them. You need good algorithms. You need good productive systems that can turn out the stuff. And then you have to have a way for the people who are not going to be needed in the productive process. That's the labor theory of value has to be visited. Get rid of them. Get rid of them as laborers. Now let me finish. Stop thinking about getting money for what you do. Just stop that. That's the problem. That's the problem. And then what you got to do is have an alternative way of relating the citizens rather than as task makers or task doers or working through an ownership stake in the industrial pattern and post-industrial pattern, so that they have a steady stream of income because they have capital ownership of what is actually producing the thing. Then that gives them free income to not only clear the market, but you need supply and demand.
Let me
finish. Then that frees them to be able to live a life when they relate to their fellow citizens that is not based on bartering back, money dealing, and all that kind of thing. They will do what they want to do. And when I was in New Paltz, you'd go in, if your car broke down, you'd go and have a coffee at the coffee shop. The guy would come and, what, you got a problem? You'd go out and fix it. It was just a thing where you could relate to people other than through the market.
Let me explain.
Of people bartering back and forth.
Let me explain. You are suggesting that in 40 years we may have a much better way of breaking down the economy, a better way.
We have to do it now.
Okay, and I'm saying that right now, while we wait for your thing to take
Not
place.
40 years.
Well, 20 years.
That's exactly what they're doing.
How long do you want people to stop eating and wait for you?
No.
I'm saying that we can eat meanwhile before what you planned comes true. I have a way in the interim. Maybe it's only a 5 or 10 or 20 year period. But I have a way where people can start making money right away. You can't do that under your system.
That's right.
And therefore, your system and my system are not in conflict with each other. Mine is a bridge. Mine allows right now, in the time of turmoil, economic turmoil, we can create employment and meaningful employment where they can make money, and we can guide ourselves.
Get it off to Patterson.
Well, I did.
Get it off to Washington. Because you're right in tune with the zeitgeist. The outdated zeitgeist.
You're not actually supposed to hang your sheets outside in New York. So this is how I've got it, hanging inside. And there's my bicycle. And I'm off to M&N to help Josh Walensky with his show. And then after that, we're going to do Carl Pearson. So here I am, Paula Gloria. Over and out. Okay, so remember that Greek guy, Archimedes? Well, Archimedes was the person who was supposed to figure out how if the king had anybody cheating with his crown. In other words, if they had the weight the same, but they took lead instead of gold, lead would have more mass than gold would. So when Archimedes went into the bathtub, he figured out by when your body goes into the bathtub, then the water level rises. So what I'm doing now is illustrating how you can start to figure things out by yourself. So I'm doing the very moment that I figured this out. This is a radiation hormesis rock, and Jane Goldberg just emailed me that she's running into some literature that goes against what Jay Gutierrez is saying, that radiation is dangerous. Of course, she's going to double check it if it's a high grade or low grade, but I think they were talking about Nagasaki and Hiroshima, because some of the radiation hormesis people were saying that people in outlying areas were actually benefited, they lived longer. But here's a way where you don't have to depend on any sources. What I did today was I took this, which usually sits on top of my, the drain there, and I'm a real anti-fungus freak. I always like things to be clean, and it gets a little slimy here under the edge. And so usually in the morning I put it out in the sunshine. Well, what I decided today I was going to do is put it right on top of the rock, the radiation hormesis rock, and see what happened. And lo and behold, when I, I cover it all with these, I don't know if you can see, that's too dark, but with the plastic bags. Jane's going to get me a better thing to keep the heat in the bathtub. But I set this down on the rock, and lo and behold, when I checked it out today for my bath, I found out that there's no mold whatsoever. There's no sliminess here. So I thought, maybe in feeling it, I got rid of the sliminess. So what I'm going to do now is, for tomorrow, I'm going to document this. This drain, I definitely feel slime around here. I don't want to touch it too much to wreck the experiment, but there's definitely slime there. So I'm going to stick this hormesis rock in it, and in the morning I'm going to check out and see if there's less slime, or maybe all of it will be gone. So I will, let's see, I want to prop it in there so it really sticks in the middle. So the idea is that you shouldn't accept anybody's authority, but just keep observing in nature and see what you discover. And this is something I think Aristotle wasn't too into experimentation. I'm not sure why he wasn't into it. But that was the whole idea of the Renaissance and the scientific method, is that people can just observe. And the observation of nature will lead you to the way of the truth. So I'll stick this up here for now, and then I'll be draining this out. So I think I'm going to call this episode Greeks and Bathtubs. And let's see what our experiment tells us. Hormesis. Let's see what tomorrow brings, what we learn about nature. Here it is the morning, and I took the rock off, and I'm feeling in here, and there doesn't seem to be any slime. However, it's dry, so I'm going to fill the bathtub, and then I'll check it out. Of course, it's before sunrise, so I will check it out after sunrise, because I'm going off to see the sun. I put all those bags on the top to keep the water in. And here in Manhattan, in these buildings, they have pipes that heat up the building. So these get all very hot and warm in here. And then here it's all dark out there because the sun hasn't come up yet. So, here are all the plastic bags covering the bathtub, and now I'm going to go out and watch the sunrise. Morning. Here we are on the running trail that goes along the East River. Here's somebody who's going to be enjoying the sunrise by default. It's cold to sleep out here all night. That's what a lot of the homeless people do. But this is the joyful part of it. You don't have to force yourself out of bed. You're already there. You're going to watch the sunrise?
Yes.
Do you watch it every morning?
Yes.
It's going to come up over there, huh? This is where I jump over sometime and worship the sun a little bit more directly. Once there were some policemen, I don't know, Homeland Security, that told me if I ever jumped over this, I'd be arrested. So I didn't do it for about 6 months. And then gingerly went over, and then sure enough, there was some policemen behind me, but by the time I put all my clothes on and got out, they were like all gone. So I keep thinking that they'd say to lay off, because sometimes I'm entertaining. Brooklyn. And that's where Annie Link used to drive. You know, she used to take the subway from in order to meet me at sunrise when she was fighting ovarian cancer. It was quite a process. I think she'd jump on the subway in Brooklyn at 3 or 4 in the morning in order to be over here by sunrise. And I heard towards the end, the only thing that was giving her relief were the mantras that I'd given her. But I wish she knew about radiation hormesis. Swarupa Namasurya Teja Satya Swarupa Namasurya Teja Surya Shakti